Every live event is filled with moments of excitement. LiveSource is a new game-changing app that allows you to create auctions instantly during these moments, as the crowd's excitement is at a fevered pitch.
Comes back with his second triple of the game.
Imagine, after spectacular moments, you could remove any item from the field of play and place it into a live auction in less than a minute while the game is still on. Imagine the fans in attendance bidding on and winning one-of-a-kind memorabilia and experiences from that event while the event is still going on. LiveSource handles the heavy lifting so that there are no limits on what can be sold or when it can be sold. Auctions can be created in less than 60 seconds, at which time the app immediately notifies fans to start bidding, determines the winning bidder, and arranges payment and delivery moments later. Excite your audience with highly shareable moments. Motivate more fans to attend your event, increase revenue. With LiveSource, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
All right, we're back with NAL Live. We want to thank LiveSource for their continued partnership with NAL Live. So check out livesourceapp.com. Great tool. All the teams are pretty much using it now. I know even some of the players are going to be using it. So get on there. You'll be able to bid on game-worn jerseys and gloves, all kinds of stuff. But we're back. We got more players with us today. We've got defensive lineman from the Columbus Lions, Ulric Jones. How's it going, Ulric?
Going good. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you jumping on here.
I appreciate you for having me.
So on all the shows so far, I like to kind of just walk through, your journey, like share with the fans. This is a great opportunity to connect with fans throughout the league. Some of them are going to want to be yelling at you, talking trash when you visit. The other ones are going to be learning more about you. So it's a fun time. And for the fans out there, remember, let us know where you're watching from. Post on there what city, state you're from, or country. And then throughout the show, post questions. We'll get to as many questions as we can throughout the show. But why don't you start off with, where'd you grow up and when did you start playing football?
Okay. So I grew up in a little small town of Ohatchee, Alabama. I ended up going to Oxford High School just for bigger opportunities. I didn't start playing football until my 11th grade year, so I was always, I was always behind.
Did you play other sports growing up as a kid?
Yeah, so believe it or not, I was actually a decent baseball player as a little kid, and then I progressed more into a basketball player in my high school days. So I had scholarships to play basketball. That's actually what I thought I was going to do, but I ended up taking the football road.
What were you? I don't know. Like, what's your size? How tall are you?
I am 6'7".
Okay. Now, were you that size in high school, or where were you when you were, kind of in your senior year?
I was at an average around 6'4", 6'5".
Okay.
I kind of got a feel for. I was a dominant post player, but theoretically speaking, being 6'4" is not a post player in the NBA. So
right. Yeah,
that was going to turn out.
Now, when you were a kid, did you want to play football like earlier, or you just kind of?
No.
Really? Okay.
I was legit basketball player.
Okay.
I was good. I had all the hype, big in my community, big around the state, big around the Southeast, but it was just something about my size that wasn't going to allow me to be what I could be in the NBA.
So what was it about football that really kind of got you more thinking about that than basketball post high school?
Yeah, you can beat people up and not have
legally, right? Yeah, I mean that's definitely a good thing. When you were in high school, did you play just D line or you play anything else?
No, I played D line, O line, tight end. I did it all.
Nice.
But playing basketball helped me so much because it polished me into a well-rounded athlete. So I was able to do a lot more than a lot of bigger people in high school.
Yeah, more coordination and skills, with that. Especially you see a lot of basketball guys transition well into tight ends, right? They're athletic, they can jump, they can catch. So when you were in high school, when did you really feel like, okay, I'm going to go play college football? At what point did that kind of cross your mind?
It never really crossed my mind until my senior year because I was getting tons and tons of attention my junior year just because of my size. But I really produced my senior year. And it all went from being letters of interest to letters of intent. So I would get scholarship after scholarship after scholarship. And then it kind of dwelled on me that I actually can go to college to play football and have my education paid for. So it was kind of it was last second thing because I never really pictured doing it as big as I've done it.
So where did you end up?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it is because in my situation it's kind of different for me because a lot of people, when they grow up and make it to certain levels, you hear the story of, oh, I knew I was gonna do this. I had dreams of doing this and this and that. For me, it really just fell into place.
Where did you end up going to school, and how did you come about? Like, how did you make that decision to go there?
Well, so since I was so last minute with all my decision making, I took my ACT score, my test late, and my score came back late. So I qualified to go Division I late. So once the word got around that, I qualified late, I'll have to go to a 2-year, when those junior college coaches hear that,
they're swarming, man.
Yeah, so I had a whole bunch of coaches call. I had 2 coaches who actually flew and saw me the same day of National Signing Day. One being Dale Vogel at I think he's now at East Mississippi, if not. But he came down from Butler and it was like, hey man, this is the closest thing to a Division I school we got. We think you'd be a perfect fit, and I was in Kansas, so it wasn't like I could just up and take an official visit. But he sent me a lot of pictures and videos, and anywhere that I visited or I wanted to go, my main question is, okay, what's the locker room look like? That's like my top question. And then my next question was,
what go to that one though. So the locker room, what was it that you wanted to see in that locker room?
Well, I'll explain it to you like this, and to any other athlete in the world listening. If you look at a locker room to a program, it tells you how strong that foundation is. If you go to a college and you see a half torn, half put together, leaks everywhere, mildew, not professionally put together type locker room, then more than likely the program's going to be half built and don't really care. But if you go to one of those places that's structurally sound, everything's in place, looks nice, painted nice, decorations, former players, jerseys, then you're dealing with something special. So that was top priority for me in any of my recruit visits I ever done.
Nice. What was next?
And then I wanted to know what the food was like.
That would have been my number one, but yeah.
Because I knew at the end of the day, I was going to eat regardless. So I wanted to know that for a place that I wanted to call home, what the situation was going to be like being with this team in and out every day.
Yeah. And so where did you end up deciding to go?
I ended up sticking with Butler. they have one of the most unique facilities that you can come across for a junior college program. Like when he said it was the closest thing to Division I, it is the closest thing to Division I that you can get. And that's not me knocking any other community college program, but if you ever have the chance, just take a moment to Google Butler Community College BG Stadium or Butler Community College locker room, and it speaks for itself.
That's good. So how was that transition going from Alabama to Kansas? I mean, that's, pretty far, man. It's far place from being, from home, from family, friends.
And if I would be lying and say I took it well. When I first got there, it was kind of a struggle point for me. For one being, I've always been an independent person, but at the end of the day, if I ever needed to get to family or someone, I was always maybe an hour away, I could do it. But when you're 14 hours away, that changes the outcome of a lot of situations. So that being said, there's a lot of kids nowadays who go off to junior college and just literally can't do it because they can't be on their own. And that is one of the best decisions and situations I've ever been through, is because it helped me mature a lot faster than I would have if I would have went straight into a Division I program.
Wow. I'm looking at this, and it's like, I want to pull this up. Is that the locker room?
It's
Is that the right school or no?
No, that's Butler University. Go to Butler Community College.
This one?
Yes.
Still a nice. I saw some other ones in there too.
That was my locker right there.
Yeah.
We'll click on that picture.
This is the Harlem Shake video, but
what year was that?
2013.
That is actually the year that I signed.
It's definitely, nice. I was looking at some of the other stuff too on there. It's definitely,
Yeah.
That's nice. And so you're kind of getting used to, the area, being away. How was everything going, on the field for you?
It fell into place. I had the opportunity to land with probably the best defensive line coach / developer with Coach Brett, and that was what I needed, because he was a great coach, a great mentor, but at the end of the day, he could relate with his players. So me being a young guy coming 14 hours away from home, he would always just preach to me. His main slogan was, be where your feet are. Control what you control and handle what's here now, and the rest will take care of itself. And that kind of took over how I ended up transitioning my game. And it helped me. I came in and made an immediate impact. I was a true freshman, and it was big time for me, because like I said, it was so last minute. I really didn't expect it. I didn't want to, but it just kind of happened.
Was that D1 kind of like, was your eye on that prize, or what were you kind of thinking when you were in Butler? I know.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Once I got the Butler, reality set in, and I was like, oh, okay, if I can do it, then I can do it, and I'm gonna try to get to the top level of what I can be capable of.
So what's that process like? You're at a JUCO, so you have 2 seasons there.
Yep.
And then you can transfer.
Yeah.
So at what point did you start getting, visits or talks from other schools?
My first year.
As soon as you started.
Yeah, because I came in and I took it so serious because it was different. It was something that I really didn't expect to happen. And once it came in to where I realized that it was something that I could do and that I saw myself doing and competing with guys, because not only some people don't realize is not only is junior college just for high school players, but junior college are for bounce backs. So you got top athletes coming all across the world from major universities.
Yeah.
It's no different. So that being said, me competing with those top caliber athletes, it kind of gave me a tunnel vision of, okay, if I can compete with the best in the country, then I can do it.
Right. Yeah, it gives you that confidence,
right,
to really go after it. So did you have a lot of options leaving, Butler? Like what was that process?
And it was way different for me because me being in Kansas, I attracted the attention from a lot of West Coast schools. So I was getting the UCLAs and the Cals and the Oregons and the Southern California, because we know where the real USC is. But so I was picking up those offers and interest from those guys on the West Coast, which is those teams never really saw me being in Alabama.
Right. So
I picked up a lot of interest. I picked up a lot of offers, and I was really set on Oregon and Maryland. But for me, family is a big priority, and I was talking over with my family, and they was said in reality, like, if you go to Oregon, there's a great chance that we won't be able to be as much a part of things as you want us to be. So that it was kind of heartbreaking because I was looking forward to the neon and the yellow and the pink and the chrome and all that good.
The different uniforms every game.
Right. So I had my mind set on Maryland.
It's a nice campus.
And then let me since we're coming to the end on the junior college route, let me kind of break down to you how that happened. So I ended up getting a call from Maryland. We have been in talk every week. I probably would talk to Maryland every single day. Like they would talk to me like before study hall, before practice, before this, before that. Like they was making sure that I was set in stone, locked in with Maryland. So Maryland sets me up an official visit for Friday and Saturday, and I would go home on early, like late Saturday night, early Sunday morning type deal. So I'm actually up in Kansas, and I get a DM from the defensive line coach at that time at South Carolina. And he tells me, he was like, look, I just watched your film. I love you as a player. We have a scholarship for you if you want it. And I was like, well, I'm not signed to anybody right now, but I'm verbally committed to Maryland. And he was just like, Coach Deke Adams, as a matter of fact, he was at North Carolina, and his previous year, I think he was at Mississippi State. But shout out Deke Adams, Coach Adams. But he was just like, man, I got a scholarship for you if you want it. I love you. I'd really like to get you out here to official visits. Need in mind, this was the last week for official visits. And I had already planned one with Maryland. So I had no choice but to tell him. I was like, look, Coach, I'm verbally committed to Maryland. I have official visits set up for Friday and Saturday, but I mean, I would really like to, see the campus and meet the coaches. So he goes, well, I can get you in the same weekend. It'll just be Sunday. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So I ended up flying Friday from Wichita to Atlanta. No, from Wichita to Chicago, from Chicago to Maryland. Saturday from Maryland back to Chicago, from Chicago back to Kansas, from Kansas back to Atlanta, from Atlanta back to Columbia, and then flew back from Columbia to Atlanta, back from Atlanta to Wichita. All in the span of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Wow. That is, you couldn't fly from Maryland straight to Columbia or
no, I didn't want to put Maryland or South Carolina in a bind of me going to see another school. So
what do you do in that situation? That's like, damn, you've already been working that relationship with Maryland, right? Now you got, the SEC calling.
I asked advice on that, and the response I got was, you need to do what's best for you, because at the end of the day, it's all just a business.
100%.
No matter what they sell you, no matter what they tell you, no matter how much they love you, shout out Coach Johnson, no matter how much they care, they love you, they this and that. At the end of the day, it's a business. Hey, Nicole, is something that you have to take in consideration, because at the end of the day, you're the one going to school, you're the one getting a degree, you're the one playing sports, and it's all up to you. So that being said, that Sunday, I took my official visit. I committed on the spot, and I had to call Maryland that same night and was like, look, I'm going to have to decommit. I've opened back up my commitment, and I signed, verbally committed, and ended up signing on National Signing Day to South Carolina.
So how does the coach from Maryland take that?
I mean, I didn't care.
It happens all the time. That's the thing. I mean, it's
right. I taught myself how to grow thick skin very early.
You have to if you're going to be in this business.
Right. So I understood the decision I was making. I knew that was the best decision for me. So I was just on the wave of, look, this is me, my education, and my talent.
Just for me. Yep.
So I'm sorry if it hurts you, but I'm not sorry, because at the end of the day,
right.
If I come to Maryland and I don't perform,
you're gonna lose your scholarship. Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna send me home.
Right.
So
yeah,
there's just a whole bunch of things to put into play.
So when you got to Columbia there, how quick were you able to kind of transition into the mix and have an impact?
Not very quickly.
Okay.
I got to South Carolina 2015, and it was a big difference.
Just at the level of players, or
it was just once the SEC is the NFL of college football, and it was just everything's is harder, is more mentally challenging, physically challenging. So I didn't struggle, because I came in and I beat the odds every day, and I outworked mostly anybody. But it was just me starting football so late. I really got a grasp on learning the actual game at a slower pace than a typical person who's been playing since Pop Warner ball. But that all kind of changed after my first year. I decided to take a redshirt year, just the simple fact of giving me a catch-up year. And then that's when old Coach Muschamp came in, and that changed everything.
And then, so your first year that you're playing, then in 16, were you, did you finally get, do you have that confidence going into that 16 season?
No.
Still.
It wasn't really installed in me until my late 2016. And that being said, is I was a player that year that I adapted to the game and I grew. So I kind of started off on a foot of, it's kind of there, it's kind of not. But as a season further than into the season, the stats started speaking for themselves. I started doing what I needed to do. I was producing more. Some of those games, I even earned a starting spot. And then, bowl game when we played South Florida, it's set in reality because I actually had an NFL grade after only 1 year of playing.
Nice.
And my grade was in the high B's. And that being said, that's kind of, if you look at it, that's kind of maybe third, fourth round. So I'm thinking, okay, I can take it serious and I can actually go somewhere with it.
So it was that junior year that the end of your junior year that you kind of really had that mindset.
Right.
What's like a day like at a D1 program like that as a player? Like, because I don't think a lot of people realize, the schedule and the commitment that you have. You have school, but the football is it's a full-time gig.
I can walk you through my daily schedule because I remember like it was yesterday. I would get up at 5:30. We would have to be in the building at 6 o'clock. We would eat breakfast from 6 to 6:30. From 6:30 to 7, we would change and get ready for whatever we was doing. From 7 to about 8 to 8:30, we would have weights. From about 8:30 to 9:30, we'll have meetings from about that 10:30 period to about 12:31, depending on if practice was horrible or not. We would have practice. And after that, we have class. Class is just depending on what you're studying. It can range anywhere from that 1 to 5, that 1 to 8. Some people had late classes. Some people had online classes. Then to cap it off, you in study hall from 8 to 10 or from 9 to 10:30, 9 to 11.
It's a grind.
Yeah.
That's a grind. People don't realize that. I think, oh, you just go, what do you have, practice for like an hour or two every day? No.
Yeah.
Not quite.
I wish it was that easy.
Yeah. So how was senior year then?
Oh, my senior year was a movie. It was amazing. I did what I needed to do. We had a great season. We went 9-4, won the Outback Bowl, and that's New Year's Six Bowl. It was a great year.
And so how were you kind of positioning yourself for professional football at that point?
At that point, I was just gonna let the chips fall where they lay. I wasn't really too pressed on having this decision or that decision or going this place or that place or being drafted this round or that round. I just knew that I done what I needed to do, and whatever was gonna happen was gonna happen.
Did you hire an agent at that point, or were you just kind of going with the flow, seeing how things go?
No, I ended up hiring an agent, but that ended up being the worst decision I ever made in my professional college career.
What was he? They just didn't help you in any way, or what?
He done the opposite of help me. He actually he really put me in a situation that was set up for failure. Like if it wasn't just for me and who I was and how hard I was able to work, he actually put me in a position to be done with football and after one minicamp.
Wow. So walk me through that. So what happened? You graduate, you getting calls from teams. Are you thinking that you're going to be drafted at that point?
I was predicted to be drafted. I was supposed to be drafted in the 3rd, 4th round. And I mean, long story short, my agent was just not who he was portraying himself to be. He was not a NFL PA certified agent. So therefore, him not being that, he's not able to
talk to him.
He's not able to communicate with any NFL team possible.
Yeah.
So comes down closer to draft time, you know, me and my trainers that I'm working with, we're like, okay, we started asking them like, this is draft time, so you need to start checking in with us, like letting us know who you're talking to, what's going on. So like it actually got to a point to where, which is something I never do, but I got my dad involved. And my dad called him, and my dad let him have it. And every word that you can think of. So after that, he would call me once a week, every Friday, and he would tell me like, yeah, I just talked to the Titans, or I would just talk to this team and this team and this team and this team. Okay, I'm not knowing at this point in time that he's not able to talk to him. I found out that way because at the very end of like 2 weeks before draft time, I got a call from the Arizona Cardinals, the Baltimore Ravens, the Houston Texans, and Seattle Seahawks. And they were all telling me like, okay, well, we really like you. Who's your agent? Okay, I give him his name, his number.
And they're like,
so comes around pro day. I have a pretty decent pro day, and it's like I talked to the Baltimore Ravens right after my pro day, and it was just like, hey, you really improved your draft stock with us today. Like, we want to talk to your agent. So I'm like, okay, something's not sitting well with me.
right.
I'm not liking this. So it was like, I say, draft week comes around, and all these teams and players and all the people who were supposed to go, and then it was around the time I'm supposed to be drafted, and it was just like, okay, well, you know, it's business. It is what it is, but it's like at the same time, these teams of telling me like, yeah, we want to bring you in before XYZ, and they're taking XYZ, and I'm still sitting at home. So I'm kind of thinking, and then I was like, you know what? It must just pan out that way. I'm not really too stressed. It's gonna work out itself. I'm gonna do what I gotta do if I get the opportunity, and it is what it is. So free agency rolls around, and usually in free agency, you get signed for free agency. You get brought in as a free agent. What he wasn't telling me was he can't talk to these teams, so he's not even able to bring me in as a damn free agent.
Right.
At this point in time, I'm brought in for a tryout. So I'm brought in for a tryout with the Seattle Seahawks, and I'm not even playing defense. I'm playing offense. So I spent a whole year combine prepping, NFL prepping to play defense, and I get to Seattle, and I ended up getting switched to offense.
And what are you playing when you're on offense? What do they have you playing?
Tackle.
Okay.
So
that's a big difference going from the D line to the O line, technique wise.
In the NFL.
Yeah.
So that situation, that time doesn't really pan out. So, you know, I do a little small stint with them, just, you know, bouncing around just from this position to position, just, you know, getting feel for the game. They keep me around for a minute just to, you know, just
like practice squad or just try out.
Because I was, you know, a decent athlete, so they were able to do a few things with me. So after that didn't work out, I fired him immediately after it didn't work out, because I knew, I found out through me having to take my contract through lawyers and through court that he just wasn't it. And so that put me in a horrible situation. And then ever since then, I got with this new guy, Cameron Weiss. He's out of Dynamic Sports, and he's been able to land me with the AAF, the XFL, the Panthers, and the Texans. So I've been around and done my dues in a lot of places.
Well, that's what I always tell guys too. Like agent wise, there's so many people out there trying to act like they're agents and representing themselves that way. The CFL, Canadian Football League, and the NFL, there's two organizations that you have to be registered to represent. So I was registered with the CFL back in 10 years ago. But yeah, I mean, that's a shame because it was such a crucial time too for you, and that's the best time to market you coming right out of school. So I can see that would be frustrating, but it's good to see that you didn't let that kind of keep you down. You kind of got up and just kept fighting.
Right.
So tell me how you got to the Columbus Lions. You bounced around in some of those other leagues and teams over the last. Would you come out in 17 college? Was that your last year? So 18. The last 3 years.
About three and a half.
When was your first season with the Lions? Was that your first stint in arena football?
It was.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, either last year or the year before last, because I was in the mix of transitioning from going to from the AAF, and that ended up folding. So I jumped right out of the AAF into arena ball, and then from arena ball, that's when I went to the Panthers.
Okay.
And I done a small stint with the Panthers that ended up not really working because of some things that they had going on. So I ended up coming back to arena, and then after that, I ended up doing the XFL until that folded. So
no, well, I mean, the thing is, you're still young. I take it that's is that still kind of the end goal, to get back to the NFL?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, I'm in a mindset now to where I'm just gonna do it and play wherever I can play because I love the game, and then when that love of the game goes, then it'll be over with.
Yeah, I mean that's the way to do it, and if it happens, it happens. I'll say this. I mean, just from having a bunch of players on the NAL Live here, man, the talent level throughout the league this year is at an all-time high. I mean, there's some great talent out there, and so it's going to be a fun, exciting season. How did you like, moving from outdoor to indoor? Like, how do you like the indoor game?
I like it. I enjoy it a lot. It's fun.
Are you one of those guys, like, do you talk to fans during the game or like when you're coming on and off the field? Do you, are you kind of focused in and don't talk to anybody?
No, I talk trash to players. I talk trash to fans, but I interact with the fans a lot.
Yeah.
And
I think that's huge.
Yeah, that's one thing that that Coach Gibson, he would get a lot of feedback on from different places we play in arena. Like they would be like, yeah, we really like that guy because he engages with the game, he loves the game, but he engages with fans and players and kids, and I love to make it to where it's not only a competitive game, but it's fun.
Yeah, it needs to be, and it is such a great game, and with the fans so close, they can hear and slap you five and all that kind of stuff. When you you make like a sack or a big play, like do you have like a dance or you do anything crazy?
I do everything, man. Sometimes I don't even be knowing what I'm doing.
Have you scored any touchdowns yet in arena football?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. I scored last season.
Okay.
One of my teammates got a strip fumble, and I ended up picking it up right in the end zone.
So did you go crazy when that happened, or what'd you do?
I want to say I just hit the arena with the big flex. I was tired, so I couldn't really. I was exhausted.
Nice. All right, Troy's got a question. Wants to know about your workout. You know, you like a traditional type workout? Or are you kind of crazy like Jerry Rice? You know, what kind of stuff are you into to stay in shape in the off season?
I in off season, man, I get it in. I do pretty much everything you can think of, from CrossFit to weights, to pool workouts, to conditioning. What's some crazy stuff that we've done?
Does Coach Gibson make you guys do like yoga or any kind of stuff like that? You ever do like Zumba?
I don't think it was a mandatory thing, because at the end of the day, arenas is professional sports, so you're dealing with a lot of grown men. So a lot of grown men make their own decisions. But one thing that I can attest to is that Coach Gibson knows this for a fact but I was always a one to do extra workouts, do extra stretch, and do extra this, extra that, just so I was able to stay how I wanted to be.
Coach says you guys are going to do self-defense this season. All right, so tell me this. What is your pregame meal that do you have like a pregame set meal that you need?
My last arena ball season, I kind of transitioned to either Subway or smoothie.
Okay. What do you get from Subway? What's your
the Italian with oil and vinegar, mayonnaise.
Okay.
And if I get a smoothie, it'll be the Incredible Hulk.
What's in that?
I think the greens, like spinach, kale, protein, but it's actually good. That or peanut butter banana.
Well, Smoothie King is good, so I mean you can get anything good there. How about post game? You have anything post game you like to have?
Wings. I can eat wings every day, all day.
Me too, man. Me too.
So that's like my go-to.
What do you have a favorite spot that you get your wings from?
No, just a favorite flavor, lemon pepper.
Lemon pepper. Okay. I've talked to just about everybody on the show about it, but if you don't have an air fryer, you need to get one.
Oh yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. That's the best thing I just got one in the last year, and it is it's awesome for wings.
It's unbelievable.
I put wings in there. For the Super Bowl, I was making wings all day.
Well, that's me and my girlfriend and my best friend. We made wings in the air fryer for them. So
yeah, no, that's definitely a good. How about? Can you cook? Are you a good cook?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm a chef.
What's your go-to to make? If I was coming over, we gotta have a big spread.
Breakfast. I love breakfast foods.
Okay.
Bacon, eggs, omelets, waffles, pancakes.
Okay.
French toast, all that.
Damn. I need some breakfast now.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I make a great omelet, and I make great hash browns.
How do you you make them just from shredding the potato, or?
I haven't tried them from shredding the potatoes, but I know like a perfect way to make the hash brown patties.
Okay. Yeah, my wife does a good job with that too, putting egg inside it and like some other stuff to kind of really keep it together.
Right.
I bought one of those like flat top grills.
Yeah,
Maybe about a year or two ago. That thing's great to make breakfast on.
it is.
Love that thing.
You can make multiple things on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Coach says you got to make breakfast for the team now.
Yeah, tell them they all pay. I'll cook for everybody who pay.
Let's go. So what kind of stuff you do outside of football?
Nothing.
No.
If it ain't training or working out, then I'm a real homebody. So I can be around the house. I love watching murder mystery shows. So I can binge watch murder mystery shows from sun up to sundown.
Any good ones right now that you're watching?
Homicide Hunter with Detective Joe Kenda.
What's that? What channel is that on?
It's on Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
Homicide Hunter. It's the best thing that I've watched. Well, no, that and Blacklist.
Blacklist. That was like a show, right? Like he was like maybe CIA or some sort of guy.
FBI.
Is that the one? Yeah. Okay. FBI. Yeah. Okay. I watched a few of those. It started looking good. Have you ever? It's not really murder mystery, but it was a good series that I liked. Was Designated Survivor.
I've
You ever see that one?
I've heard of it, never saw it.
That's a really good one on Netflix. So, but yeah, no, there's definitely a lot out there. How about, are you a gamer? You play video games at all?
Yeah, I like 2K and Call of Duty.
Okay. Pretty good at both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely a Call of Duty guy, though.
Yeah. I was telling some of the guys, the league should set up like some opportunities, like have you guys stream, video games, play with some fans,
Right. That'd be a good way to connect with those fans.
Yeah, play even like a Madden tournament amongst the players. Get the fans watching.
Yep.
Kind of fun. So, where you live in the Atlanta area then year round? Okay, so you're not far from Columbus. Great market.
Like an hour, 30 minutes at max.
Have you thought at all about career after football, like what you want to do when you're done playing?
Yeah, I'm going to probably go back into coaching.
Okay.
So that'll probably be my next step once football's all over with.
You doing any coaching now, like locally at high school or youth?
I coached high school football last year in my off season, just because of the simple fact of everything was canceled that I was a part of. So I was able to coach high school football up in Kentucky.
Okay, nice. Now it's tough too, because high school football is like spring and fall, so it's like it conflicts a little bit with the arena season,
right?
Now, but no, I've talked a lot of the guys, talking about getting into coaching when they're done, which is good. But now's a good time too to kind of build those relationships up, and I mean, how it is. I mean, it's all these coaches from all these different places. I mean, the better those relationships, the better opportunities will be out there.
Right.
So, all right. Last couple questions. Favorite arena to play in outside of, the Columbus arena?
Jacksonville.
How about the craziest fans in the league?
Cobras.
Yeah. I hear there's some good rivalries between you two.
Yep. Carolina Cobras.
Any team that you're most looking forward to playing?
That's a hard one. I'm looking forward to playing all of them. I feel like last year we was just we had a talented team, but we was too inconsistent.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a fun season. I'm excited to kind of see how it transpires with all these this talent. I've had a couple of your teammates on already, so who's kind of who's the funniest guy on the team?
I don't know. We got a lot of characters in that locker room.
It seems like it.
This is a whole new team. So
okay, a lot of new guys for this
a
one.
lot of these guys I haven't even met yet.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll have to get you back on like mid-season, and then that way we can kind of find out like who's doing like weird pregame routines, and there's got to be some good stories in there.
Right. I don't know. I think we'll have some pretty funny dudes on the team.
In Columbus, what's your go-to place for wings? If you were getting wings in Columbus,
Sharks.
Sharks.
Yeah, no question.
All right, I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna come up to Columbus soon anyway, so we'll check it out.
Definitely Sharks.
Nah, it'll be good. Well, man, good luck this upcoming season. We'll definitely keep in touch. Hopefully we'll have like some players of the week on and things like that. I'm sure you'll be in that mix and come up with some good celebration though. I mean, I hear, Outlaw's got some good stuff and a couple of the other guys, they got their celebration stuff. So, make sure you're prepared.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely have some new stuff in the bag this year.
Yeah. All right. Well, sounds good. We'll be seeing you soon.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.